everyone. I hope you all are doing good. Welcome to the daily news analysis. In this session, we will try to break down today's current affairs in a simple and an exam relevant manner for you. इस वीडियो को देखने के बाद आपको आज के करंट अफेयर्स समझने में, आज का न्यूज़पेपर समझने में कोई परेशानी नहीं होगी। तो आइए शुरू करते हैं आज के पहले न्यूज़ आर्टिकल के साथ। Okay, so due to the ongoing Iran and Israel tensions, there are some sort of terms, yes, some sort of missiles, some sort of missile defense systems which are repetitively coming in the news. Yes, आपने भी देखा होगा that terms such as the ballistic missile, cruise missile, yes, more recently this word called as the THAAD, it is appearing again and again in the news. Okay, so in this video, we will try to break down all these terms, what these mean, what is the difference between these, yes, what are they used for. Okay, so let's first read what the news says. It says THAAD hit to kill. The Terminal High Altitude Area Defense, one of the most advanced missile defense platforms developed by the US, is being tested in the US-Israel war against Iran. Okay, so due to these tensions, this anti-missile defense system is being deployed by the US. Okay, तो इस न्यूज आर्टिकल के अंदर इस सारे कॉन्टेक्स्ट में आपको कुछ चीजें समझनी है, वो है दैट व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन अ क्रूज मिसाइल एंड अ बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल. यस, व्हाट इज समथिंग, why do we call some missiles as ballistic and others as cruise. Yes, then you need to understand what is THAAD. Yes, जो ये word लिखा है यहाँ पे THAAD क्या है ये, what are its key features. Yes, and let me tell you, one question has already appeared in UPSC on THAAD. Yes, I guess back in 2017 or 18, there was one question that what is this technology THAAD related to? Yes, that you were giving this word THAAD. You can search on the internet THAAD UPSC question, you will get the question. Okay, so THAAD becomes important. Then we'll see that does India have any kind of missile defense system, वो भी हम देखेंगे, और दुनिया में और कितनी कंट्रीज हैं जिनके पास थार्ड जैसा खुद का मिसाइल डिफेंस सिस्टम है. Okay, so let's start by understanding these things one by one. So firstly, let's see the difference between ballistic missile and cruise missile. तो जो मेन डिफरेंस है आपका ballistic missile और cruise missile में, that is of trajectory. Yes, what do I mean by trajectory? Trajectory means what kind of path. Yes, जो मिसाइल है वो कैसा पाथ फॉलो करती है अपने टारगेट तक पहुंचने के लिए, उसको ट्रेजेक्ट्री कहते हैं. ठीक है, एंड ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दिस पाथ वी हैव टू काइंड्स ऑफ मिसाइल. वन इज द बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल. बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल फॉलोज अ पैराबोलिक पाथ. ठीक है, आपने उसको यहाँ से लॉन्च किया, दिस इज द लॉन्च साइट. It will go up in the atmosphere, it will go very high in the atmosphere, maybe it also crosses the atmosphere and reaches near space, और फिर वहां से इतने ऊपर altitude में जाके it will descend to its target. Okay, so ballistic missile follows a parabolic path. And what about cruise missile? Cruise missile stays near the earth की टेरेन के पास रह के ही क्रूज मिसाइल लो ऑल्टीट्यूड में फ्लाई करके एक स्ट्रेट पाथ फॉलो करती है. यस, you will launch the cruise missile from here, it will rise to a short altitude, and then with the earth hugging terrain it will follow and it will eventually reach its target. Okay, so I hope the first basic, the main difference between ballistic and cruise missiles is clear to you. Ballistic missiles follow a parabolic path, they go very high in the altitude, almost near space, and then eventually they descend and target the whatever is their destination, whatever is their target site. Okay, and as against this, cruise missiles do not follow a parabolic path, they do not go very high in the altitude, they go to lower altitude levels, and then from there they follow a straight path and finally descend to their target. Okay, so this is the first difference. Now let's look at other differences one by one. तो जो क्रूज मिसाइल होती है उसको आपको पूरे पाथ में पावर देनी पड़ती है. यस, इट विल स्टार्ट कंज्यूमिंग फ्यूल हियर व्हेन यू लॉन्च इट. आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द क्रूज मिसाइल. You will give power to the cruise missile when you launch it, and it will require power and fuel for the entire path. ठीक है, यहाँ से लेकर यहाँ तक आपको क्रूज मिसाइल को फ्यूल सप्लाई करना होगा. ओके, बट अनलाइक दैट ballistic missile comes under the influence of gravity while it is descending. ठीक है, तो यहाँ तक हाई ऑल्टीट्यूड तक जाने तक के लिए तो बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल को फ्यूल चाहिए ही चाहिए होगा. But when it start descending after attaining the maximum height, it will not require fuel. After that, it will descend under the influence of gravity. Okay, I hope this is clear. जो क्रूज मिसाइल है, दे आर पावर्ड बाय जेट इंजन फॉर कंटिन्यूअस फ्लाइट थ्रू आउट द जर्नी, whereas ballistic missiles are rocket powered for initial boost phase, then coast up unpowered for most of their flight. ठीक है, most of their flight is unpowered in case of ballistic missile. Now let's see the altitude. How is the altitude? We've already discussed that cruise missiles fly at relatively lower altitude, whereas ballistic missiles go very high in the atmosphere, even to some exo-atmospheric areas. Then let's see the next difference is about range. कि ज्यादा दूर तक, अगर ज्यादा दूर आपका टारगेट है तो आप कौन सी मिसाइल यूज करेंगे? यस, विच मिसाइल इज प्रेफर्ड फॉर लार्जर रेंजेस? ठीक है, तो लार्जर रेंजेस के लिए वी यूज द बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल. बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल प्रोवाइड्स लार्ज रेंजेस एज कंपेयर टू द क्रूज मिसाइल्स. क्रूज मिसाइल की जो रेंज है वो लिमिटेड होती है, बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल की रेंज काफी ज्यादा होती है. ओके, so cruise missiles typically have shorter ranges but can loiter or change course more easily. Okay, तो इसका मतलब क्या है कि जो आपकी क्रूज मिसाइल है उसको आपको मेनोवर करना इजी है. मान लीजिए अगर आपका टारगेट मोबाइल है, यस, वो टारगेट ऐसा है जो मूव करता है, तो मान लीजिए टारगेट ने अपनी लोकेशन चेंज कर दी, तो आपको अपनी मिसाइल की भी डायरेक्शन चेंज करनी होगी. तो that maneuverability is possible only in case of cruise missile and not in ballistic missile. Then but ballistic missiles have longer ranges and higher top speeds. ठीक है, तो जो क्रूज मिसाइल है उसका एडवांटेज क्या है? दैट इट अलाउज यू मेनोवरेबिलिटी. यस, आप मिसाइल को मेनोवर कर सकते हैं कि इस डायरेक्शन में नहीं, इस डायरेक्शन में लेके जाना है. Yes, that is why cruise missiles are often used for precise attacks. Yes, where we have to attack very precisely, we will use cruise missiles. Where we have to attack very far, yes, जहाँ पे जो टारगेट है वो बहुत ज्यादा दूर है, बहुत ज्यादा रेंज की मिसाइल चाहिए, तो उसके लिए हम ballistic missile यूज करेंगे. Okay, now then let's see what is detection like. Yes, इन दोनों में से ballistic और cruise missile में से दोनों में से किसको easily detect किया जा सकता है? Okay, so because cruise missile flies very near to the earth's surface, it is not easily detectable. But ballistic missile goes very high into the space. Yes, it travels a very long path before it finally attacks its target. That's why ballistic missiles can be easily detected. Okay, so this is the next difference, that cruise missiles are harder to detect but easier to intercept after detection. ठीक है, एक बार आपने डिटेक्ट कर दिया, पहले तो क्रूज मिसाइल्स को डिटेक्ट करना डिफिकल्ट है, बट मान लीजिए आपके रडार्स बहुत ज्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग है, बहुत ज्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग आपका डिटेक्शन सिस्टम है, आपने डिटेक्ट कर दिया, तो उसके बाद उस मिसाइल को, क्रूज मिसाइल को इंटरसेप्ट करना, इंटरसेप्ट एज एन डिस्ट्रॉय करना इजी है. बट बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल के केस में उल्टा है. बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल्स आर इजियर टू डिटेक्ट but they are difficult to intercept. Okay, why difficult to intercept? Because they have very high speeds. They are flowing and flying under the influence of gravity. That's why they have very high speeds, and that is why they're difficult to destroy, they're difficult to intercept. Okay, so ballistic missiles are easier to detect but harder to intercept. So I hope these basic differences between cruise and ballistic are clear to you. अगर आपको एग्जाम्पल देखना है तो क्रूज मिसाइल्स का द मोस्ट फेमस एग्जाम्पल इज ब्रह्मोस मिसाइल, और ballistic missiles के केस में द एग्जाम्पल्स आर पृथ्वी एंड अग्नि मिसाइल्स. ओके, So these are some more differences. We have already discussed them. Range ballistic missiles की ज्यादा है, cruise missiles की कम है. Ballistic missiles की range can go up to 15,000 kilometers और cruise missiles की is limited up to 4,000 kilometers. Altitude भी ballistic missiles का ज्यादा है. They go to exo-atmospheric heights और जो cruise missiles हैं वो terrain hugging altitudes पे ही रहते हैं. Then precision किसका ज्यादा है? Precision हमने देखा था क्योंकि जो आपकी क्रूज मिसाइल्स हैं दे अलाउ मेनोवरेबिलिटी अलाउ करती है, दैट्स व्हाई क्रूज मिसाइल्स आर मोर प्रिसाइज. देन व्हाट अबाउट बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल्स? बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल्स आर रिलेटिवली लेस इजियर टू कंट्रोल वंस दे आर लॉन्च्ड. ठीक है, तो अगर आपके पास प्री डिटर्मिन्ड टारगेट है, फिक्स्ड टारगेट है कि यहीं पे ही हमें मिसाइल से अटैक करना है, तो उसके लिए आप बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल का यूज कर सकते हैं, because we have a predetermined target. But on the contrary, if our target is continuously moving, we do not have a fixed predetermined target, तो उसके लिए हम cruise missile को use करेंगे. Okay, then speed is obviously higher for ballistic missile. It can reach up to 25,000 kilometers. Yes, that is why it is very hard to intercept. जो ballistic missile है उसको destroy करना बहुत difficult है due to its high speed. But cruise missiles have lower speed up to 1,000 kilometers. That's why they are easier to intercept. Okay, I hope these points of difference are clear to you. Okay, now let's move to our next topic of discussion, that is THAAD. Okay, what is this THAAD? So much in news these days. So THAAD first of all stands for Terminal High Altitude Area Defense. Okay, Terminal High Altitude Area Defense. Now what defense, what kind of defense it provides? Yes, so it provides defense against the incoming missiles. Okay, तो जो भी इनकमिंग मिसाइल्स हैं उनसे बचाव करने के लिए जो यूएसए के पास सिस्टम है वो कौन सा है? THAAD. Yes, so it is a mobile anti-ballistic missile defense system developed by the United States. Okay, it protects, it provides defense against the mobile ballistic missiles. ठीक है, आई होप दिस इज क्लियर दैट अगर इनकमिंग मिसाइल बैलिस्टिक है तो उसका उससे बचाव यूएसए थर्ड के थ्रू करता है. Then it is designed to intercept and destroy short, medium and limited intermediate range ballistic missiles during the terminal phase. Okay, it can intercept and destroy. Intercept and destroy which kind of missiles? Short, medium and limited intermediate range ballistic missiles. Yes, और कौन से फेज में डिस्ट्रॉय कर सकते हैं? इन द टर्मिनल फेज. व्हाट इज द टर्मिनल फेज? टर्मिनल फेज इज द फाइनल फेज व्हेन द मिसाइल इज अबाउट टू डिसेंड. हमने देखा था जो बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल होती है वो एक पैराबोलिक ट्रेजेक्टरी फॉलो करती है. यस, सो द टर्मिनल फेज इज व्हेन द मिसाइल हैज स्टार्टेड डिसेंडिंग, व्हेन इट हैज स्टार्टेड मूविंग टुवर्ड्स इट्स टारगेट फाइनली. तो उस फेज में, टर्मिनल फेज में थर्ड आपका उस बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल को डिस्ट्रॉय कर सकता है. ओके, Okay, then let's see what are the key features of THAAD. This is so much in news. We need to understand some of its key features. So first one is hit to kill technology. Yes, जो हमने news पढ़ा था उसमें भी यही लिखा था, THAAD hit to kill. Now what is this hit to kill? This is very much self-explanatory from the phrase hit to kill. मतलब जो THAAD है, when it strikes the missile, yes, when it strikes the missile, it has so high kinetic energy that it can completely destroy the missile with that energy. Okay, it does not carry any kind of explosive warhead. Yes, वो किस तरह से आप सोचिए, अगर आप लॉजिक लगाओगे तो वो मिसाइल को डिस्ट्रॉय करने के लिए क्या यूज कर सकता है? या तो वो कुछ काइंड ऑफ वॉरहेड यूज कर सकता है, यस, कुछ काइंड ऑफ एक्सप्लोसिव यूज कर सकता है, but THAAD does not use any kind of explosive. How does it intercept? How does it destroy the missile? It destroys the incoming missiles through direct kinetic impact at extremely high speeds. Yes, जो THAAD है वो इनकमिंग मिसाइल को इतनी तेजी से टकराता है कि the kinetic impact is so huge that the missile itself is destroyed. Clear? Then the second फीचर इज हाई ऑल्टीट्यूड इंटरसेप्शन. मतलब बहुत ज्यादा हाई अगर मिसाइल फ्लाई कर रही हो तो वहां पे भी थर्ड उसको डिस्ट्रॉय कर सकता है. इट कैन इंटरसेप्ट मिसाइल्स इनसाइड और जस्ट आउटसाइड द अर्थ्स एटमॉस्फेयर. ओके, एंड लास्टली इट इज अ मोबाइल सिस्टम. यस, इट इज ट्रक माउंटेड. जैसे आपको ये पिक्चर में दिख रहा होगा दैट इट इज ट्रक माउंटेड. ट्रक के ऊपर है थर्ड, एंड बिकॉज द ट्रक कैन मूव, द थर्ड कैन ऑल्सो मूव. ऐसा नहीं है कि थर्ड की लोकेशन कहीं फिक्स्ड है, ऐसा नहीं है, but it can move according to the requirement. Okay, I hope these features are clear. Now let's see कि क्या और countries के पास भी अपने मिसाइल डिफेंस सिस्टम्स हैं. yes, थर्ड की तरह कि क्या और countries खुद को मिसाइल्स के अटैक्स से बचाने में सक्षम हैं, तो ये देखते हैं. So there are these 5-6 countries. First one is USA, just we saw. Then Russia, China, India, France, Israel, Italy, UK and Iran. These countries have developed missile defense systems. So let's see the names of important missile defense systems. So Israel ka the very famous missile defense system is Iron Dome. Yes, you must have heard this name so many times in the news. So Israel ka missile defense system is Iron Dome. फिर यूएसए का एक और है मिसाइल डिफेंस सिस्टम अपार्ट फ्रॉम द थर्ड, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज द पेट्रियट. रशिया हैज S-400, S-500 एंड A-135. चाइना हैज द HQ सीरीज. जो HQ सीरीज की मिसाइल डिफेंस सिस्टम्स हैं, दे बिलोंग टू चाइना. And UK, France and Italy have jointly developed one system that is called as PAAMS. Yes, it stands for Principal Anti-Air Missile System. Yes, so it is also sometimes called as the Sea Viper. So Sea Viper and PAMS are used interchangeably, these terms, to denote this missile defense system, which is jointly developed by UK, France and Italy. Now let's see India's missile defense system. Yes, how do we protect ourselves? How do we protect our country in case of a missile attack? तो देखिए मिसाइल डिफेंस, मिसाइल से डिफेंस करने के लिए आपको दो चीजें जरूरी होंगी आपके लिए. पहला तो कि आप उस मिसाइल को डिटेक्ट कर पाए. यस, जब तक आप डिटेक्ट नहीं कर पाएंगे तो आप कैसे उसको डिस्ट्रॉय करेंगे. सो द फर्स्ट थिंग, द फर्स्ट रिक्वायरमेंट फॉर अ मिसाइल डिफेंस सिस्टम इज डिटेक्शन. तो डिटेक्ट करने के लिए इंडिया के पास एक बहुत ही लॉन्ग रेंज रेडार है. दैट रेडार इज नोन एज द स्वॉर्ड फिश लॉन्ग रेंज ट्रैकिंग रेडार. Okay, now why the term long range? Because it can detect incoming ballistic missiles even when they are 600 to 800 kilometers away. तो इतनी दूर तक, इतनी दूर से भी अगर मिसाइल आ रही हो तो हमारा स्वॉर्ड फिश रेडार कैन डिटेक्ट इट. ओके, एंड दिस हैज बीन डिराइव्ड फ्रॉम इजरायली ग्रीन पाइन रेडार टेक्नोलॉजी. ठीक है, तो हमने डिटेक्ट कर दिया. डिटेक्ट किसके थ्रू करेंगे हम? अवर स्वॉर्ड फिश लॉन्ग रेंज रेडार. Once detected, now is the time to intercept. Now is the time to destroy the missile. तो intercept करने के लिए we have two systems. The first one is the Prithvi defense vehicle. Yes, now what is this? This is an exo-atmospheric interceptor. Yes, what is exo-atmospheric? मतलब atmosphere से बाहर जाके ये मिसाइल को destroy करता है. Yes, it intercepts ballistic missiles outside the Earth's atmosphere. It can intercept missiles at altitudes up to 150 kilometers. ठीक है, तो इस altitude तक जाके पृथ्वी डिफेंस व्हीकल मिसाइल्स को इंटरसेप्ट कर सकता है. एंड इट इज डिजाइन टू काउंटर मीडियम रेंज बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल्स. यस, रेंज के बेसिस पे भी आप मिसाइल्स को अलग अलग कैटेगरीज में डिवाइड कर सकते हो. सम हैव हाई रेंज, सम हैव मीडियम रेंज, सम हैव लो रेंज. तो जो पृथ्वी डिफेंस व्हीकल है वो किस तरह की मिसाइल्स के साथ एंगेज करके उनको डिस्ट्रॉय करता है? द मीडियम रेंज बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल्स. ओके, देन अपार्ट फ्रॉम दिस वी ऑल्सो हैव द एडवांस्ड एयर डिफेंस सिस्टम. Yes, that is a kind of endo-atmospheric interceptor. Yes, endo-atmospheric as in that it intercepts and it destroys the missiles within the Earth's atmosphere. Yes, जो पृथ्वी डिफेंस व्हीकल था that will go outside the Earth's atmosphere. Yes, it will destroy missiles outside the Earth's atmosphere, unlike the advanced air defense which will destroy missiles within the Earth's atmosphere. Clear? I hope these two things are clear. तो सबसे पहले हमने देखा डिटेक्शन के लिए वी हैव द स्वॉर्डफिश रेडार, और इंटरसेप्शन के लिए हमारे पास दो सिस्टम्स हैं. वन इज फॉर एक्सो एटमोस्फेयर वन इज पृथ्वी डिफेंस व्हीकल, एंड एंडो एटमोस्फेयर के लिए वी हैव द एडवांस्ड एयर डिफेंस सिस्टम. ओके, आई होप दीज पॉइंट्स आर क्लियर कि इंडिया का मिसाइल डिफेंस सिस्टम कैसे वर्क करता है, और कंट्रीज, किन किन कंट्रीज के पास अपने मिसाइल डिफेंस सिस्टम्स हैं, यूएसए का थार्ड क्या है, यस, बैलिस्टिक और क्रूज मिसाइल्स क्या हैं. आई होप दीज ऑल दीज थिंग्स आर क्लियर टू यू नाउ, and you'll be able to make more sense out of these terms in the news. Okay, so now let's move to the next news article for the day. Okay, it talks about the speaker. Yes, we all know that speaker is the presiding officer of our Lok Sabha. तो ये न्यूज आर्टिकल स्पीकर के ऑफिस के ऊपर है. अभी रिसेंटली जो आपके इनकम्बेंट स्पीकर हैं मिस्टर ओम बिरला, उनके खिलाफ द ऑपोजिशन हैज मूव्ड अ नो कॉन्फिडेंस मोशन. यस, तो उसी कॉन्टेक्स्ट पे ये आर्टिकल बात करता है. सो लेट्स सी व्हाट दिस इज ऑल अबाउट. इट सेज रीइवैल्यूएटिंग द ऑफिस ऑफ स्पीकर, no confidence motions against the speaker have been extremely rare in India's parliamentary history. Okay, so let's see what do we need to understand from this article. You need to know what is the office of speaker, what is the constitutional position, how is the speaker elected, yes, what is the procedure for speaker's removal, what are the functions, powers, etc. These are the things you need to know for prelims. And then you need to know that what are the challenges that are affecting the speaker's office at present. ठीक है, हमें स्पीकर के ऑफिस के रिस्पेक्ट पे क्या रिफॉर्म्स लाने की जरूरत है. ओके, let's begin one by one. Firstly, we know that a speaker is a member of the Lok Sabha elected by the House to preside over its meetings and regulate its proceedings. जो स्पीकर का इलेक्शन है that is mentioned under Article 93. Yes, you need to keep this article in mind. Then the speaker, how is the speaker elected? Elected by the members of Lok Sabha from among themselves. Yes, हमने शायद कल या परसों में we discussed about the राज्यसभा डेप्यूटी चेयरमैन इलेक्शन. यस, तो हमने वहां पे ये पढ़ा था कि the deputy chairman is also of Rajya Sabha is also elected from amongst the members of Rajya Sabha. Okay, so similar to that, the speaker of Lok Sabha is also elected by the members of Lok Sabha from amongst themselves. ठीक है, then what are the functions of speaker? What does it do? सबसे पहले the main function is to maintain order and discipline in the house, then also decide who may speak during debates, interpret and enforce rules of procedure, decide whether it is a money bill or not. Yes, so this function is important. हमने मनी बिल के बारे में भी पढ़ा था आई गेस 1-2 days बिफोर. तो मनी बिल को सर्टिफाई कौन करता है कि हाँ ये मनी बिल है? Who has a final authority over certifying a money bill? The speaker has it. Okay, so this function becomes important. Then next, exercising casting vote in case of a tie. Yes, casting vote का concept भी हमने पढ़ा था just a few days back. Yes, तो जिस तरह से vice president cannot vote at the first instance in Rajya Sabha, similarly in ordinary matters, in all matters except for the matter of speaker's removal, ठीक है, जितने भी और मोशंस होते हैं लोकसभा में उनमें स्पीकर कैन नॉट वोट एट द फर्स्ट इंस्टेंस, बट द स्पीकर कैन कास्ट अ कास्टिंग वोट. यस, कास्टिंग वोट व्हेन द हाउस इज डिवाइडेड इक्वली ऑन बोथ साइड्स. यस, फॉर के भी और अगेंस्ट के जब इक्वल वोट्स हो जाएं तो द स्पीकर हैज द कास्टिंग वोट. देन the speaker also decides disqualification of MPs under the anti-defection law. Yes, 10th schedule के अंडर जो डिफेक्शन के प्रोसीजर्स होते हैं उन पे कौन डिसीजन लेता है? द स्पीकर टेक्स इट. देन the speaker ensures the continuity of the functioning of the house. How it does so? This speaker continues in office until the first meeting of newly elected Lok Sabha. Yes, even after the Lok Sabha is dissolved. We know that every 5 years Lok Sabha gets automatically dissolved. तो तब भी स्पीकर का जो ऑफिस का टेन्योर है इट डज नॉट एंड देयर. Yes, he continues to hold the office until new Lok Sabha meets. Okay, so I hope this point is clear how the office of speaker ensures institutional continuity of Lok Sabha. Yes. Okay, now let's see now what is the procedure for removal of the speaker. Yes, the main topic, the main debate which has come to news is the procedure for removal. ठीक है, तो recently because against our speaker a motion for his removal has been moved by the opposition, we need to understand what is the removal procedure. So removal procedure is mentioned under which article? Article 94 subclause 3. Yes, election was under article 93 and procedure for removal is under article 94C. So the speaker can be removed from office by a resolution passed by the Lok Sabha. ठीक है, अगर speaker को office से remove करना है तो a resolution has to be passed by the Lok Sabha. Yes, now this resolution must be passed by what majority? Yes, कितने लोगों को इस पे has to vote in favor of this motion for the speaker to be removed? The answer is majority of all the members of the Lok Sabha. Yes, all the members means all the members, the entire strength of the Lok Sabha, uska 50% se zyada has to vote for speaker to be removed from his office. Okay, then a written notice of resolution must be given before it's taken up for discussion within a minimum notice period of 14 days. ठीक है, मान लीजिए you want to move a resolution for the removal of speaker. So a 14 days prior notice has to be given for that. Yes, you cannot say that today I want to move a motion for speaker's removal. No, that is not possible. You have to give a 14 days prior notice and then after 14 days that matter will be taken up for discussion in the house. Okay, I hope this point is clear. Then that matter will be taken up for discussion and even after that it has to be passed by a majority of all the entire strength of the Lok Sabha. Yes, even only when it is passed by the majority of the entire strength, the speaker will be removed from his office. Okay. Now the question comes, what is the status of participation of speaker during this motion? ठीक है, जब लोकसभा ये नो कॉन्फिडेंस मोशन अगेंस्ट द स्पीकर डिस्कस कर रही है तो क्या तब भी स्पीकर एक्ट्स एज अ प्रिजाइडिंग ऑफिसर? जैसे हमने पहले देखा दैट प्रिजाइडिंग ओवर लोकसभा प्रोसीडिंग इज द मेन फंक्शन ऑफ द स्पीकर. सो जब ये मोशन मूव हो रहा हो, ये मोशन डिस्कस हो रहा हो कि हमें स्पीकर को ऑफिस से रिमूव करना है, at that time does the speaker act as the presiding officer? No, the answer is no. At that time the speaker cannot preside, but he can be present and he can participate in the debate. He can defend himself as a normal member of the house. ठीक है, तो वो presiding officer का role तब नहीं निभाएंगे. The presiding officer will act, the deputy speaker will act as the presiding officer and the speaker will behave just like the any other member of the house. Okay, and इस मोशन पे तो जो मोशन रिमूवल के लिए होता है स्पीकर के, उस मोशन पे द स्पीकर कैन वोट इन द फर्स्ट इंस्टेंस. यस, अनलाइक अदर ऑर्डिनरी मोशंस जिसपे स्पीकर फर्स्ट इंस्टेंस पे वोट नहीं कर सकते. Okay, so this is the catch point you need to remember here. The speaker can vote in the first instance like any other member. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now, let's see that so far in our democratic history of these many years, has any has any speaker been removed from his office so far? Yes. Has a no confidence motion against the speaker been successful so far? Yes. तो वो देखते हैं. तो देखिए, a no confidence motion has only been moved 4 times in our entire parliamentary history. ठीक है. The first time it was in 1954 against our first speaker of the independent India, G.V. Malvankar, and this motion failed. Then again in 1966 against Hukam Singh, this motion again failed, and in 1987 against Balram Jhakar, again this motion failed. And most recently in 2026, the motion has been moved against our incumbent speaker, that is Om Birla. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now, let's see what are some of the challenges that are affecting Speaker's office at present. So, the first one is growing perception of politicization. Yes, there is an increasing perception that the Speaker's office is getting politicized. Yes, Speaker जो हमारा constitutional framework है, that assumes that requires Speaker to be a neutral person. Yes, a neutral figure. Yes, but what is happening now? The speaker office is getting politicized. Yes, decisions on issues such as disqualification of legislators under the anti-defection law, certification of money bills, these instances show that the speaker's office is getting increasingly politicized. Speaker is no longer acting as a neutral institution. Okay. Then second, there are frequent government opposition confrontations which have created procedural deadlocks. When neutrality of speaker is questioned, trust among political actors declines. Okay, so there are the parliamentary deadlocks, the procedural deadlocks have become very common. The speaker is not able to resolve them, and then there is a weakening of parliamentary conventions. Earlier, unwritten conventions guided the impartial conduct of the speaker, but with increasing politicization, these conventions are gradually weakening. Yes, we are not following any kind of strict written formal conventions, but a political competition has come into play when it comes to regulating the procedures of the Lok Sabha. Okay. Then let's see what kind of reforms do we suggest in the office of speaker. Yes. So first reform is that resignation from party membership after election. So does it happen anywhere in the world? Yes, it happens in the UK. जो यूके का हाउस ऑफ कॉमन्स है वहां पे क्या होता है, द स्पीकर रिनाउंसेस पार्टी अफिलिएशन immediately after he is elected to the office of speaker. Okay, he becomes a neutral candidate. Therefore, then it reduces perceptions of party loyalty influencing decisions and strengthens the institutional neutrality of the office. Okay, then secondly we can do to enhance transparency. How? जो भी procedural decisions speaker लेते हैं उनके लिए, if he gives detailed explanations, then it will automatically enhance transparency. Yes, such as he must be mandated to give clear explanations for matters such as refusal to allow discussions, certification of legislative bills, etc., etc. Then lastly, we need to codify best practices. We need to establish clear guidelines on the speaker's discretionary powers. Yes, speaker has some of the discretionary powers as well. जैसे हमने पढ़ा कि under the 10th schedule, anti-defection की जितने भी matters होते हैं उसमें who has a final say? The speaker has a final say. Yes, so there is a lot of discretion to speaker in that matter. तो वो discretion को हम we have to ensure that speaker exercises his discretion in a impartial way. So for that, we need to come up with clear guidelines. Then, while parliamentary procedure requires flexibility, greater clarity can reduce disputes and accusations of bias. Yes, if there will be more clarity, there would be less perception that speaker is biased. Yes, there would be clarity. People, the fellow members, other members of the house would know that how speaker is functioning according to the set guidelines. Clear? I hope this is clear about the speaker's office. So today we discussed two news articles. The first one pertaining to THAAD and the missile systems, and secondly with respect to speaker's office. I hope these things are clear to you. Thank you so much. We'll meet again tomorrow in tomorrow's daily news analysis. Thank you so much.